do you go? Where do you go to? I wanna know. How do you do it, that thing you do? Follow you blindly, I'll be your fool. Where do you go to? Where do you go? Where do you go to? I wanna know.
How do we
Hey,
go?
hey, everybody!
Welcome.
Welcome to All About the Joy. And in the house is Rick Costa. How you
Hello, everybody.
doing?
Good evening. Good evening.
So Cynthia has left us for better people, I guess. No,
So
she said
hurt.
no, she might come. She said she might come on. I don't know. She's in I want to say Maryland or Washington or something
Oh, okay.
with family. So
Okay. Family first. I always say family first.
family first. And then, Mario and Alma don't usually come on Fridays unless they can make it. So I don't ever expect them. So just you and me, like old times.
Just you and I.
Right? Like, do you remember when we first started out? It was just you and
Yes. I was looking for one particular video of the one that I interviewed you with the book, and I couldn't find it for the life of me. So I had to look through a bunch of them. I was like, oh, it was just you and me for the longest time.
Oh, wait, the one where you interviewed me about my book?
Yeah.
Did you find it?
I did find it. Yeah. Oh.
Hey, Mario. I'm still at Disneyland.
Mickey, I said hi.
This is so funny. I know it's weird. I just have no understanding of the joy of Disneyland. But all my friends, I have so many friends who are diehard Disneyland people, and they get it. I don't get it. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Like I went once, I never need to go again. So,
Hey,
hey Melanie, how are you? How you doing? Okay, you have news. You saw a movie that I have not seen yet.
Yes, I saw the G2 move or G20, excuse me, G20
Uh-huh.
with Viola Davis, the fabulous Viola Davis, whom we all think is amazing. At least I hope you do. If you don't, something's wrong with you. But anyway, I heard a lot of negativity before
What do
I
you mean
watched
you heard a lot of negativity? Mario and Alma loved it.
it. From them, yeah. But I heard a lot of negativity about it, and people trying to say, "Oh, here we go again with the agenda," and blah 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 blah. I'm
Wait,
I don't know.
wait, let's not walk over that. What do you mean the agenda? What are we talking about?
You always talking about the agenda, woke, and blah blah blah, and I'm like, I don't know what y'all talking about. This was a great movie.
Okay, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't make a judgment, but I'm just gonna ask you some questions about it. So are you saying that the movie, not you, but are people saying that the movie is, what is it? Woke, you said? You said woke.
Woke, too much woman power, I guess, whatever. So I'm
Okay, wait. So does does the movie, do you think it does from their point of view? Could you see why they think? So is it just because she's a woman and black? Is that what it is?
I'm like, did we watch the same movie? Like, it was great. She was very feminine. Like, they were making me think all kinds of crazy stuff.
I know. Okay. But here's my question. I have to ask you this question because I know. I'm just asking the question. Can you understand why they think it's woke? Is it just because because she's a black woman who is president?
Probably.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Melanie, what do you mean?
3 days. I knew you had issues.
3 days.
Though. That bad weather, I think it was. Some kind of crazy weather situation. I didn't know it was 3 days.
Bad weather. Like, how can you have 3 days with no power?
See, that's why I got a bajillion solar powered battery thingies and all that. I'm prepared for all that.
I feel like I'm way too bright. Usually what happens in the green room is Cynthia will give me advice on how it's going. Do you know what I mean? With my lighting and stuff, but you're not helpful at all.
I think you look great.
Thank you. Yeah, look at me fishing for compliments. Yeah, no, I haven't seen it yet because I don't have Prime. So, but I will get it eventually, I guess, or pay for it or something. I just I want to. But have you seen Sinners yet? No.
Yes.
You saw Sinners.
Ask me no questions and I'll tell you no lies about how, but yes.
No. We never discuss that because we don't discuss it. So, okay, but you saw Sinners. I'm curious your thoughts. I won't be mean about it.
No, I think it's something that I didn't yet, but I almost think you have to watch it more than once because there's a lot. It was a lot in it. A lot of characters, you have to distinguish between the two twins, which one's which and the personalities. And then I watched a few videos that here's how to better figure out who's who. And they're like, the blue is the guy that didn't turn into a vampire, and the one that wore red, he did become a vampire. Vampire blood, red. Get it?
Okay. I guess we
Blue,
should
good.
say spoiler alert to everyone. I don't know.
Well, I mean, this ain't really spoiling anything.
No,
It's
no,
just
you're not, because it's a very complex movie. But did you okay, I have questions for you. Did you think it was a horror film?
Oh, Melanie just answered the question about
I
person.
know. She could wait 30 seconds while you answer the question. Hi, Melanie. Okay, Melanie said bad storm Tuesday night took out power for 400,000 people in Pennsylvania, right? I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
apologize. I'm glad you got your power back.
Yes,
Okay,
there's
Rick,
that.
answer the question. I know you like to try to you don't have to answer the question.
Shiny thing, squirrel. Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's what you're trying to do. But no, we're gonna have you answer the question. So you didn't, because I don't like horror, and I didn't watch any of the horror scary parts.
Yeah, I mean, until
It's
the
like an hour
vampires
into the film where you see the first.
until the vampires come in, I didn't consider horror at all. It was just an interesting story of something from a long time ago and how they lived and how they interacted and and it was very interesting. But until the ending or the last half, or maybe a little more than half, that's when it became like, okay, now we're starting to turn a little horror now, a little bit.
Right.
But
So how did you feel about the I mean, I know you're saying it might be good if you could see it again or something, like, before you make some assessment, but what is your initial do you understand the hype? Do you understand why people are
yeah,
intrigued by it?
I think because it was something different, fresh. Melanie
Look
said,
at
"Rick."
Melanie. Rick, answer the question. Thank you, baby girl. Thank you. Thank you. That's my boo right there. Go
I
ahead.
think it's because it's fresh, it's new, it's something different. It's not a remake, it's not a sequel, it's not a continuation of something. It's original. Although a lot of people compare it to another movie, but he did say he got inspiration from it. But it wasn't the same type. It was. I mean, there was some certainly not that much similarities.
Well, every story has already been told, so there's always
Yeah,
gonna be
of
some
course.
similarities, you know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
understand, Melanie.
Melanie, I don't think I I'm glad I saw it, but I would be okay if I didn't see it. I'll just put it that way. Like, it's not my genre, but I'm so glad I saw it because it really is a work of art. Whether you like it or not, I feel like it is such a well done, different, interesting story. It teaches you so much. The music is incredible. There's just so much going on in it. And yet it all makes sense. So to me, it did anyway. So, but yeah, it was a little too scary for me, even though it's all the way up until it was an hour into the movie because I looked at my watch.
Mm,
When you see, for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, the scary part begins when you see the Ku Klux Klan hat and dressing on the chair.
yeah, and it's only for a second, so you can miss it. So pay attention.
Yeah, yeah, you see it, but then they open the door and yeah. So there you go. That's when the mean, evil vampires come in, whatever, you know. So yeah, I
They
don't like
actually
horror movies
weren't,
either.
they
What?
actually weren't too gross about. Obviously we know vampires bite people, and with these, it wasn't even always the neck. They didn't care where they bit. But it wasn't because you had your eyes closed. You probably didn't see that. But it wasn't gross as I've seen other movies be super gross about it. It wasn't. They were trying to be,
It's
not too.
scary, Melanie. No, look at it. People who don't like horror movies don't like being scared. It's not even like I'll say this to you, Rick. Like, I don't even think it's about the blood or the gore or all that stuff. It's the insinuation. Like, I still like, even though I saw it and it was easy to tell when it was about to happen. Like that,
Mhm,
that I will say. You could always tell when a bad person or bad thing was about to happen because I really did not see any gore at all.
mhm,
So but it's still, you could hear it and you could the insinuation, you know what I mean? So can they make a version without the horror part? No, because here's what I'll say about the horror parts, Melanie, and this is just one small interpretation, my point of view. Part of what the vampires signify is the really horrible part of who we are as a culture, right? So you have the KKK who are really bad and we hate them and they're horrible, but actually the vampires are worse. And that's kind of like, I mean, there's a reason why they exist and the reason why he makes them so like that's the horror. You know what I mean? Like the horror is what we've done to ourselves as a people, as a country, as a world, you know? So I don't think he could do it because that's what I think it signifies to me. To me, that's what I'm
mhm.
saying to me.
Yeah.
So, do you think you'll watch it again?
One day I might, if I really get intrigued and really want to understand it better. Like I said, I think you miss a lot because it's just a lot. But what I really liked is it's the characters are very well fleshed out. You
Mhm.
know who's who, you know what they're like. You pretty quick you can figure like, okay, this is that person's personality. I know what they would do and what they would not do and stuff like
Yep.
that.
He does a
So
really
yeah,
good job with
they,
that.
they really did. They really did a good job. I mean, and I know people ain't gonna watch it if they don't like horror. I get it, but the movie was well done.
It was well done. Wow. I can't believe you saw it. That's so good. I mean, I knew you would eventually, but I'm actually pretty impressed. So,
Mm.
did you go see the other movie everybody wants to go see? I heard that new Marvel movie, everybody's freaking out about it, like saying it's so good.
Everybody's saying it's good. Well, I mean, I heard a few people say they didn't like it, but mostly they're like, it's very good. It's very focused on like mental health and sadness and depression, and people cried, but they said,
Is
but it
it
was
woke
good.
though? Is it woke? I'm kidding.
I'm trying to
I'm
think of people say,
joking. I'm
no, I'm trying to think
joking.
of two people say that. I don't think they really did. A lot of
No,
people even
no,
said,
Rick, I'm kidding.
no,
Everybody
no,
in
no,
the
I get it.
movie's white. That's why. It's
No, no,
like
no, I get it. No, I get
that's
it.
why I'm saying that.
But no, I've seen people complain about All White and said it was woke too. But anyway,
What movie? You can't throw shit like that down. Like what movie? What people say people
anything
woke.
with something gay in it, usually they'd be like,
Well,
oh, it's woke.
that's the point. I mean, that is I mean, again, just because we're having a conversation, it's you and me and you can't hide. I'm just saying, like, I'm saying that is the problem with people trying to use woke as a thing because it's never really about being enlightened or about being, awake or being all knowing and understanding and compassionate and loving. It's always about the otherization of people, which is actually, that's why I said that. But you're never going to see people criticize an all white, cisgendered, whatever you want to call it, heterosexual, blah, blah, blah movie, and they're going to say it's woke, unless they're dissing LGBTQ or Latinos or Black people or women. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So, yeah. So, how do you feel about Trump, Rick? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh. It was nice being here. Bye.
Rick's like, come on, somebody come on the show and save me. No, I'm just kidding. How was your week? Did you have a good week?
It was not too bad. Work wasn't too bad. It was steady, but not too bad. And mom was not too bad. She starts physical therapy again next week, which is cool.
Wait, but why? What happened that she needed physical therapy
She
again?
needs it. She's had it before. Usually like once a year it happens and it just helps strengthen her a little bit, because if you're not strong,
Okay.
you easily fall, you get dizzy, da da da. But yeah, she's been a lot weaker lately, and just because she doesn't do anything. So I'm like, yeah, you definitely need physical therapy. We went to the doctors. They were like, "Do you want us to put you?" Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you're like, yes.
She
So
needs
do
it.
you get a little bit of a reprieve when she has to go?
I mean, I'm always working when they come, so I'm still working.
Oh,
At
they
least,
come to the house. They come to the
yeah,
house.
it's in the house. Yeah. So, but I mean, mentally, I have a little bit of reprieve because I'm like, okay, somebody's here, so they got her.
Right,
I have to worry
right.
about her for a little bit. So, yeah.
Now, I just wanna say I wish you had watched 911 because then we could talk about Bobby's funeral that I did not watch, but since you don't watch the show, we can't go over that. So, I do wanna talk about AI with you, though.
Mhm.
So,
That's
do
funny
you
because I just watched because somebody else said they were gonna watch it online that I saw, and I
what?
just watched the Animatrix, which is like a cartoon version of basically the Matrix movie, right? The Matrix movie, we
Yeah, I
all
know the
know
Matrix
that
movie.
one. So
Keanu Reeves.
basically, this thing is a cartoon that explains how that all came about in the first place. So it's the past history. And I was like, "Oh, wow, okay. Interesting."
Okay, so what do you feel No, we're not gonna talk no, Mario, go enjoy Disney. Stop it.
Hey,
Hey,
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, how are you? What's
Oh, that's
Jockey?
the people that saw Minecraft. They were freaking out when Jack Black said that part, I guess. It's something to do with I don't know anything about Minecraft. I never played the
Isn't
game.
Minecraft like a Twitch game or something, or one
No,
of
it's not
those?
a Twitch game. It's an old game from a
It's an
long time.
old school game. Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeffrey, do you wanna come up? You can come up if you want. I don't know if he will, though. I'll put it in the thing. Everyone's invited. We're only here for an hour, and Rick is boring. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
You're not this is like old school. This is me and you old school. Okay. So what were we talking about? AI. I wanted to ask you said you were anime. You were talking about anime or whatever. And
Oh, the movie Animatrix. It was called Animatrix, yeah. Just showing
okay.
how the Matrix came about.
Okay, but answer the question. God, you really don't.
No, because the Matrix is all about AI. The whole
I know.
thing is
So
about
tell me, how do
AI.
you feel about AI? Jeffrey, I just put it up in the. Oh, he might not see it.
Oh,
Jeffrey, let me go to Facebook and send it to you. Wait a second. Okay, Rick, talk amongst yourselves. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, you can't. It's unavoidable. AI is part of our life. You cannot escape it. It's going to be increasingly more and more used. And I know some people are scared of it, Cynthia. And some people.
Cynthia, oh no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
She's gonna see this later and get me.
She might be listening right now. No,
Could
you know,
be.
you know what? You're gonna be very surprised with her because she bought a new phone.
Ah,
She got a new phone. I'm so proud of her. So,
nice.
Jeffrey, I sent that to you on Facebook. So if you come up, I'll let you up. It's awesome to see him. So it's here to stay. Whatever. Do you
Oh,
use it though? Do you use it?
yeah. So on my broadcast, I created all new graphics, and every bit of it was created with AI. Yep, definitely. So I definitely use it for that. Anyway, yeah.
Do you have fears about it?
Not now. Not right now. In the future,
Well,
I
what
don't
do
know.
you mean? Expand on that. Try to have a conversation with me. Like,
How much I understand that computers can only do what you program it to do. I get that.
mhm.
But I also get that there's evil people in the world. And if they want to be evil and they have bad intentions, they can probably figure out how to use AI to do really bad stuff.
But isn't that with everything? I mean, isn't that with
That's the
everything?
person's fault, the people's fault, not AI's fault. It's like money. Money's not evil. It's what you do with it.
Or people talk about a gun, or people talk
Right.
about, whatever it is, like,
Mhm.
but I think that is kind of the, "Oh, Android, she's not gonna get no Apple. We don't do Apple in our family." No, I'm just kidding. So, I'm sure she got an Android, she got a Samsung. She got a better
Oh,
phone than I did after all that.
wow.
Um, yeah. She's not, I asked her how she was feeling using it, and she was like, "I don't know yet." Like she was just kind of whatever, but, well, the
Yes.
reason why I'm asking about this is because I wanna make this kind of not an ongoing conversation, but, I use AI every day. I use it all the time, and I love it. I think it's amazing, and it's funny because I think Jeremy was gonna try to stop by, and, he had sent me back an email saying, "No, I hate it, never, don't like it, whatever." So I'm interested because so many people in Hollywood are against AI, and I totally understand what that fear is. But
Right.
I think we have a lot of movies in our head, like we talked about before, about AI becoming sentient. Is that the
Mhm.
word? Sentient?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty
And
much.
taking over. And I keep going back to our Stargate days or Star Trek days. Like
Mhm.
you're right, it is people that are behind that or whatever.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I thought Jeffrey was gonna come up. He lying like a rug.
Maybe he's
And
fixing his hair or something.
well, maybe you know what it is though, because we forget that people don't use this all the time, so it takes a minute to, like, learn how to use
Yeah.
it.
Where am I going to do it from? I need some good lighting. I understand. Yeah.
I understand. Oh my god. Let me just see if he read this message yet. I don't know. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, he did, he read it. Okay, well, we'll see if he comes up. That'll be fun if he comes up. Let me just close this down. So
But
what else?
eventually, I do foresee myself using it more as far as asking questions like, "Hey, GPT, I have a question, blah, blah, blah." I haven't really gotten there yet, but I'm gonna get there eventually.
You don't have to, but you use Google to search things, don't you?
Yeah, it's just a different way to do almost the same thing anyway.
Well, the thing that I like about it is that, like, with Google, you'll put in, like, what does this word mean or whatever,
Mhm.
and it'll give you the definition or tell you oh my God, this is gonna be so cool. Hey,
Oh,
Jeff.
Hey, I'm trying to figure out how to turn the camera on.
So is the camera on your laptop or is it
No, it's
attached?
a work desk. Hold on, I should have done the preview before. And
No,
I'm an
that's
IT
okay.
guy, so it's kind of like it's kind of embarrassing.
Oh, you want me to try? I mean, I can take you off till
No,
you
no, hold
figure it
on, hold
out.
on. Ah,
I
there
can
we go.
Oh,
there
there
he
you go.
is.
But now you have to fix it.
There you go.
How are you?
Good. How are you? I always enjoy your show from afar, so
I
Aw,
know,
I'll
you're so
comment when I
cool because 'cause you're
can.
always so supportive. Okay, wait, how long has it been?
I don't know, like 89, probably. Like, I mean, actually, when we met was back in '89.
It was
So
89. That is
yeah,
so random. Rick, Jeff, Rick.
what's
yeah, we
You know
up?
went
what?
to
I always
Vermont
call you
together. So
wait, I always call you Jeffrey, though.
I know, but people call me Jazzy Jeff. Jeff doesn't mean
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, wait. What did you say beforehand? Because I missed what you just said. Because I was so excited to see you.
No, I'm saying like I think we met like in 1989 at the SESP
Yeah,
enrichment program. Yeah,
in
so
college.
yeah,
Yeah. But then
and that
did
was a
we
great
meet?
program actually. They put us minority people on scholarship for a summer. you know,
Us woke people, right? The woke
right? So,
people,
no, so we could take like 2 classes and make sure we
right?
didn't drop out after like the first year. So
Exactly. But it was good because then we all got to know each other. So we met at the University of Vermont, Rick, in college. And the summer before our freshman year, we participated in a program called SESP, which I don't even understand what it stands for.
summer
Summer
enrichment
Enrichment
scholarship program.
Scholarship Program. Right. Right. And so we got to take classes and we got to like meet people or whatever. And then, yeah. So, well, wow. And why did you have to say 89? Because now people go, no, how old I is. Like, why'd you do
Well,
that?
I'm only 12. I was a prodigy when I was there.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, prodigy. I
Yeah.
barely got out of college like without dying. Like,
Yeah.
so what have you been doing? Sorry, Rick. Rick thought this
Oh,
was
you're
a
good.
thing between me and him finally, and here you are, Jeff. What have
I
you
know.
been up
I finally,
to?
like I said, I watched from afar, and like you have such interesting topics that I try to chime in and all that kind of stuff. But
That is
so
so nice of you to say. Thank
no, I
you.
do. People do watch. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, okay, here's the thing you don't know. I have I can't tell who's watching,
yeah,
but you can see how many people are watching and whether they
yeah,
drop in or drop out. It's like keeps a counter or whatever. But actually, we don't get that many people watching as much as we get people who do the views or the podcast later. So I don't really do this so that we get a lot of people. I mean, I would like more people, but I kind of do it because I think it's a place that people can just come and hang out. And we kind of
yeah.
need a place to just
Well,
do that.
for me, I don't know what your schedule is. So if I happen to be on my phone and I see you on, I'll like pop in and I'll watch. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so you know what I mean?
So
Like, it
we
seems like you do
do.
it all the time. So I just don't know.
Does it seem like we do it all the time? Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of good, but it's not true.
I don't know, but I think you're on more often than not, to be
No,
honest.
You know what it is you can see. I put the clips up. Maybe that's what you're seeing. Is I put up some of the little clips every day. I put up like one of the clips from the episode before.
Yeah.
That might be it. But we're on Friday nights. This is good for me to explain, right, Rick? So Friday nights we just have a hangout, and usually there's like 4 or 5 of us on, but you're always welcome, Jeff. You can always come on. I can have 10 people up here, and most people are absolutely welcome. And I say that because there are some people I won't let back on. Do you know what I mean? Like I will not let them on. So Friday night is just a hangout, kind of like old school when you were like hanging out in the neighborhood after work or whatever, and everyone's sitting on the porch, chilling, talking about the week, blah, blah, blah. But we also do a recording during the week, which is it's the private lounge. And the private lounge is usually we have either a guest comes on and we talk with them. Wait a minute. Oh, I thought somebody came on. We'll have a guest come on and we'll interview them or whatever, or we'll pick a topic and talk to people and not have the chat on. And that I post on Sundays, and it also airs audio-wise on the podcast.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what it is. But I'm glad you think we're on all the time. Is that good?
No, seriously. I think you're on all the time.
We're on all the we are on all the time, which is weird because I work like 50 hours a week, but I'm glad I'm able to do that. So yeah, that is good.
I do like IT for a healthcare system here, and we've been 100% remote since COVID. So, the biggest challenge of my day is like figuring out what I'm going to eat. Like to get out of the house. Like,
so wait, so you and Rick both do a remote thing. Rick, you were going to say something. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying it's a good thing that people think we're on all the time, but it's also we're very regular. It's not like randomly. No, it's a set time. It's every week, so that's a good thing.
Right, that is good. Yeah.
So I try to pop in, like when I try to listen for a little bit, and then
it's okay, and you can listen to it whenever you want. We appreciate it. Look, it helps. It helps a lot for people to be engaged because, of course, that helps my numbers. And I would like to do this more often. I would like to have maybe throughout the day having different conversations and interviews with people. That'd be great. I do think we need to build a community, and that's what I'm trying to do, build a community where people can just hang out and chill and have a good time. You know what I mean? And talk about things. We don't talk about politics or religion. We try not to. Although I was trying to get Rick to get all riled up about the word woke. but what are your thoughts on AI? I'm just curious.
I think it's a good thing.
Go ahead, please.
Well, the funny thing is, so I'm in healthcare IT. So one of the big things with our EMR, which is our electronic medical record that we bought into, they're starting to bring in AI tools. So a doctor doesn't have to like sign things anymore. Like it'll figure out what's going on based upon your diagnosis, upon whatever. But the doctor does have to read it. I mean, ultimately, they're the ones that have to co-sign on it. So
right.
It can be dangerous. Like, I mean, you can let it do whatever you want. But I think AI is awesome. Like, you know, I made songs about my kids through AI. Like, all you have to do is like throw a topic out there and like anything, and it say make the song about soccer practice in country, and it'll make a soccer song about country. Like, so it is crazy. It's going to replace a lot of people's jobs. But
do you think, but do you, okay, so the creative part, I think, is the hard part. I think that's where I get a little confused, a little bit like, you know, like it creating a song for your kids or whatever it is. Okay, that's kind of fun, whatever. But when it starts maybe duplicating something Prince would have done.
Right. So I have friends that are in the music business, and what they tell me is that if, say, I just go there and say, like, you know, song about soccer practice, I don't get any song credits. I don't get any royalties. I don't get whatever if it goes on Spotify. But if they write the lyrics to the song, like there's different platforms. Like, I mean, I'm such a novice at this, but there are certain things where they can monetize what they do. So they can write the whole song out and say, you know, sing it as, you know, Morgan Wallen, my son, as like Morgan Wallen, you know what I mean? Like but if you actually write the song, like the lyrics and that kind of stuff, that's JP. It's my son.
Hi.
Hey, JP.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
So they can actually monetize that. So that's, and one of my friends, he's doing this thing for autism. And I guess on the spectrum, there's certain sounds that they, you know, that people on the spectrum can hear, they can't hear. So I forgot who he's working with, but so he's making music for the people that are on the spectrum that can, you know, with AI and cool. So it's like, it's cool stuff. But I mean, ultimately, I think it's going to take people's jobs, you know?
I mean, no, I do think it's going to change people's jobs. I mean, I think one of the things that's interesting is that there's a whole job now, just if you know how to prompt AI. You can get work if you know how to prompt AI. And I know that sounds really weird, but it's like, it's kind of like anytime we have an industrial change in anything that we do, jobs get lost, but other jobs are created. And I think people fear change, and that's okay. I get it. But I think there'll be other jobs created. That's what I think is going to happen. And look, I work here in Hollywood. Trust me when I tell you, I am an anomaly liking AI. Everybody here hates it. Everybody pretty much hates it. You know?
But, I mean, with AI though, don't people say like, "Hey, can you make me a movie about me walking through the woods?" And
okay, wait, does your son need you, or is he just hanging out? Because it's cool. He can take his daddy for a minute.
No,
he's just hanging out. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Is his name? What's his name? JP?
He's just curious. Like
okay, cool. Wait, what'd you say, Rick?
So he said, "Who's dad talking to?" That's what
I know, right?
No, he just came from basketball practice. He's a sixth grader, plays an 8th grade team, so he's been bowling out. So
okay, wait. His name is actually JP.
Well, my name is Jeffery Putnam Moreland. His name is Jeffrey Putnam Mangione Moreland. So in my family, the middle name is always
I love that.
Is the mother's name. You know what I mean? Like the family name. So that way it keeps it alive. So.
You know what's so funny is like, because whenever I hear people say JP, it reminds you because I grew up in Jamaica Plain in Boston, Massachusetts. So I'm like, every time I'm like, I have to like do a reset. So it's like, so now I know like his actual name. So that makes sense. You know,
my sister lived in JP. Like they lived right by the Forest Hill train station.
I lived on Rosemary Street, right there, right at Forest Hill Station, off of by JP. So cute. I lived right there. That's where I grew up. I grew up in Jamaica Plain. So
it's a small world.
It's a small world, child.
But I gotta say though, when I was in college, everyone loved Carmen. She was like the exotic.
That's not even true.
No,
what are
it's
you
so
talking
true.
about?
It's so true.
Wait, are
My
you about to
roommate
embarrass me?
loved you.
Wait, I'm
Like,
going to
it was,
knock
like,
you
so
up right
funny.
now.
Yeah. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait. That is not true.
it is true. 100% true.
Okay, when you say everybody, who are we talking about? Because I think you and I have a very different viewpoint of everybody.
No, but
Everybody
yeah,
that
most of the
matters.
guys, because you were a little bit older than us. So like when we were there,
I was a little
So-
bit older, but we don't
oh,
need to
right.
tell that
So you were like the,
information.
you know,
What
you're
are
like
you
the
doing?
exotic older girl. You know.
Yeah. I was a little bit older.
Yeah. Right.
I was much more
exactly.
mature, is what he really means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at that point, I mean, we were probably what 18. You probably were like 20, maybe or something
What
like
is he
that. Like,
doing? He does not know. What are you doing aging me? What
I'm
is
not aging
wrong
you.
with you? Yeah.
I'm just saying that people thought you were
No.
attractive back then.
You know
I'm
what
not-
it was?
You know,
Is everyone
Rick.
is
I'm just telling you, like, yeah.
I mean, that's a normal college age. Hello.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my god. Okay, wait. Here's the thing.
See, she's like blushing. She knows it's true.
I am. Okay, wait. Because
Love
you're not supposed to come on here and say that stuff.
No, well, you
Yes,
invited
you
me.
are.
Like,
Yes, you are.
there's no topic. You didn't say, Jeff, talk about, whatever.
I tried to talk about AI and you just jumped into whatever. Okay, here's the thing. All of everybody would come to me because they wanted me to buy them liquor, right? Because at that time, it wasn't. So you see how we have different perspectives there, Jeff. Like,
Well, the funny thing about Vermont is that with fake IDs, we made them. Me and Dave
you all
Pascuzzi,
did make
we
them.
made them in our dorm room. So we bought like a Polaroid camera. And it was funny. Like, you buy a camera and then you could like return it in 30 days. And then everybody had like someone had like a Macintosh computer. So we made so many fake mass IDs. It was like insane. So they wouldn't, like, I'm from Massachusetts. I got to a point where they wouldn't take my ID when I turned 21. But
Right.
we made these things, but it had like your real name on it.
Yeah.
And we bought like the stencil that said mass, and we stamped it in gold ink.
You
And
see
we
how
would
corrupt,
iron- we
you
got-
see how corrupt
we
these
still-
people are, Rick?
And kids, we're not recommending this at all, kids.
No, we're not recommending this. And Jeff, I want you to see how Melanie just said, never talk about women's ages. How do you not know this as a man with children? How do you not know this?
I didn't say how old you were. I just said that
you
were like 19 or
you were
20.
like
I didn't
18,
say
you
how
were like
old you
20. You were older than we were. Like, whatever. I hung out with a young crowd. I had
No,
no
but
choice.
you had fans, like I said.
Yeah, but I don't, you know what? It's funny. I don't remember it that way. It's very flattering, very kind of you to say, but I really don't remember it that way.
Well, Vermont was a weird place, to be honest.
For sure. Yeah. We love Vermont, though. We don't want to be mean to people who might be listening from Vermont. I
Yeah.
still have friends in Vermont. Do you have friends in Vermont still?
I'm still friends with like all my classmates, like Bruno, like all those people, like everybody. I don't know if you remember Bruno Granville.
I mean, I have
He
my
was
own Bruno
with me
friend,
in
but
the-
I don't know the same person.
Yeah, like Dave Pascuzzi, like all, I'm still friends with people.
Oh my
that-
God, David Pascuzzi did love me. This is
Yeah,
true.
he loved you a lot.
Yeah,
But-
he did. Yeah, that is true.
No, but I'm saying, like, but there are people that you're friends with that that you kind of grew up with that.
Yeah.
But I will say Vermont is a weird place. That's just in general. So
I think it was also a weird place because we were of color as well. It's a very different, it's a very white area that we went to school in. So I think that also had a different effect on us. For me, anyway. I shouldn't be talking for you.
no, I mean, there weren't very many of us. So
No, there was not. And we all knew each other, so that was good. Okay,
Yeah.
Rick, I'm so sorry this became the Carmen and Jeff show because
So what I'm getting is you were cooler than you knew you were.
No, she was
Me?
cool. Like people were afraid of her, to be honest.
Oh,
Yeah. Shocker. Right?
I wasn't.
People were afraid of me? Are you being
No, they were
serious?
intimidated by you.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How did this happen? All right. It's been a great show, everyone. Thank you.
All right, next topic, Rick. I love the stuff behind you.
Oh,
Guys,
my
look,
God.
Can I just say this? Everyone always said, like, that's the thing I hear as a woman. Let's talk. You guys are men. Let's talk about this.
Yes,
This is what I hear all the time, my entire life, being a woman, men will say, well, I wanted to ask you out, but you're so intimidating. Like they'll come years later. I had a crush on you, but I was so intimidated. I'm like, what? Like, is that a thing? You guys really don't like women who are, I don't know, I guess, like what would intimidate you about me? What?
Well, I saw it firsthand. You were you were like very serious. So, but as as I've matured and gotten older and being single and doing whatever, now you have to just be clever to approach you. I'd be like, stupid like lines. Like this is the best one though that I would use when I was single. I'd be like, say you're at the bar or whatever, and you have a bag on, your purse, and I'd be like, oh, he's like, excuse me. So I'd approach you, even though you had like a sour face on, and be like, hey, it's my sister's birthday coming up. Where'd you get that bag? The bag is awesome. You know what I mean? And you go like, oh, I got this bag at, Bloomingdale's,
right.
like, whatever. Like, so you go in this whole like diatribe about this, bag, and I wouldn't care. So it'd be like,
wow, that's actually pretty smooth. That's actually
Yeah.
but you'd be like, but you explain this bag to me, and you'd be like, oh, I got this bag, whatever. Like, oh, I think my sister would love that bag. Like, where'd you get this? By the way, I'm Jeff. Can I buy you a drink? Whatever. Like, and then you go on about the bag, about your clothes.
Okay, I just want to make it clear for everyone, this is not something that happened to me. It wasn't me.
What I'm saying is like, even people with, women who have like the unapproachable, they still.
God. He doesn't even realize, Rick, that he's like totally dissing me. Unapproachable.
I'm not dissing you. No, but what I'm saying is like, women go out looking nice, right? They love their outfit. They love their ensembles. And if some guy goes up there and says, hey, you have a nice outfit, you're going to be like, yes, I have a fucking great outfit. You know what I mean? Like I took time, and you're going to tell me all about it,
right.
And that's.
But I'm trying to be very specific because now I'm feeling very self-conscious. Okay, Melanie just said a confident woman seems intimidating to men. What?
But Carmen, where did you get that bookcase in the back there? It looks awesome. Like I love having one of those in my house.
Right? I'm trying to work in magic now. IKEA, bitch. All right. Done.
It's like IKEA my town. Can you tell me the number of that? Can you tell me what model that is? Is that the Hofswagen? Like whatever.
I was really quiet. I wasn't intimidating. I also think.
No, but you didn't really go out that much, to be honest. Like I didn't see you out as much as
girl. Right. I did not hang out at the frat parties. You're absolutely right. No, I did not. I did not do any of that. Like, what is it they call rushing to the sororities or whatever?
You didn't have to though.
I didn't do any of that. You're right. I was very I'm gonna say it because Rick is gonna laugh, but I was actually pretty quiet. I really
you were local. You were
kept to yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then like I come on camera and I shine. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I also think it was a really intimidating place for me. Like I think that's what like the irony is, I mean, Melanie's absolutely right. A confident woman seems intimidating to men, but the truth is I was scared out of my mind. So what you may perceive as being, this intimidating woman, blah, 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 whatever. I was like walking around a campus, something I never thought I would ever be doing because I barely got out of where I grew up. Like you don't know a lot about my background, but me being in college was a crazy, weird thing. So I was just trying to be quiet and figure out my space. I wasn't trying to be intimidating. You know what I mean? I wasn't some strong, powerful woman in college. It wasn't really till after college that I understood how powerful I could be and be confident about that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because I think men have a difficult thing, especially in the way in which we all grew up, that you must always have to go up and ask someone out, right? Ask a woman out, and you get rejected all the time. And I can tell you, just being a dancer and being someone who performs, I hate being rejected. So I cannot imagine going up to someone I like and then be, oh, Cynthia, you're not supposed
to. Uh-oh. I think she froze on us, right?
Usually I'm the one that freezes. It's her this time? I'm shocked.
I'm freezing?
You did. Yeah, we were still talking. Oh, wow. It's usually me.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
But Carmen, you know what's funny though? Like when I was in college, like there would be girls that would be interested in me, but I have no clue. You know what I mean? Like I was like stupid.
It's because you're very handsome and you don't even realize that. I remember that about you.
But the thing though is like I didn't figure it out until
like thank you, Carmen.
I didn't figure it out until I graduated. You know what I mean? It's one of those
Mhm.
things like, I got in the real world and then I was like, like you said, like, you shoot your shot and you get shot down. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, and but also too, like I want to meet new people. So I was always like the engaging type. Like I said, about the bag. It's a
Right.
stupid thing to say, but
No,
it
it's
gets you
not. It's
in. It's
actually
like
really
it's not
smart.
intimidating. It's not like, hey, can I buy you a drink? Can I do whatever? You know what I mean? Like, so I'd
Right.
be like, hey, or be like, hey, you look like a fun person. My name is Jeff. I live here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you look like you're fun. You're your friends. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. So it took me a while to like learn that. But then I also started bartending when I moved to Stanford.
Where did you bartend?
13 Turtle in
Wait,
Stanford.
wait, in Vermont? No,
No,
you
no,
didn't.
no. I didn't up
Oh,
there. No.
okay. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
No, this is like in Stanford. But I tell my kids like you have to like at least do service industry like at least once in your life. Like be a
Good.
waiter, do whatever, just
Yeah.
Yeah.
to be nice to people, like that type of thing. But
Wait a minute. You went and got your wait. You went to Stanford after?
no, Stanford, like the town, not
Oh,
Stanford College.
Stanford.
No,
I'm like, you went to Stanford
no,
afterwards?
I'm
Yeah,
not that smart.
Connecticut.
geez.
Yeah, I'm like not that smart.
Yeah, he was in Connecticut.
Okay,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
He's in
so
Connecticut. Rick is in Connecticut right now.
oh, I'm in Stanford. Yeah, where are you, Rick?
Danbury.
Oh, okay. I love the mall.
45
Yeah, right
minutes.
mall.
Everybody says our mall is the best mall. Oh
Yeah, it
yeah.
is. That's the mall.
Whatever. Neither one of you in LA,
No,
but
but the malls
whatever.
here are dying. Like they're like in Stanford, the mall sucks. Like it's like the
Yeah.
worst.
I've been there. It's like, oof.
Yeah, it's like it's not even worth it. But no, but what I'm saying, like I think every like with my kids, like I want them to do like service industry. Like
Yeah.
serve on people. Because I want to say it's like God's work, but it's like one of those things where you have to deal with people. You have to like if you want to make money, you have to like be nice. You have
Well,
to
I
make
think
tips.
all
Like,
experiences are really important, and especially if you've experienced it, you're trying to pass on some great
yeah,
habits or understandings to your kids. I don't even think you need to justify it any more than
yeah,
that. Like you want them to have an experience that you had that made you learn something, and
yeah.
and I think service jobs are the hardest jobs in the world. That and like being a parent, I want nothing to do with both of those things. You know what I mean? And I've had
I
to
want to
do
say it's
service
rewarding,
jobs.
but it
What?
does suck
What?
at times. Being a parent does suck at times. So
No, and I'm not a parent because I've seen how hard it is, and I'm grateful I'm not a
yeah.
parent. But like that's the only thing I've never
Is it me or did she
where
freeze?
Yeah,
She froze again. It's usually me.
guys, can I tell you? Oh, can you see me?
Yes,
Yeah.
now
All right, I'm gonna talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna get them because I'm paying way too much money for this for me to keep freezing. So
yeah, usually it's me that happens to.
I know you keep saying that. Like
I-
you
Cause
usually cut out. You usually cut out. You don't just freeze. You cut out. But
okay.
let me just talk to them for a minute.
Yeah, go ahead. So my first job was McDonald's, and boy, did that change me. Because like, before that I thought my crap didn't stink. And then I was like, oh, wake up call. Like, and then you got to really figure out how to deal with grumpy people, mean people, nice people too. But yeah, it teaches you a lot. And I definitely would
Right. I
need to do that.
completely agree that people should have to do it. Like it's one of those things because
Yeah.
I've seen so many people go to the restaurants and then just act poorly. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Until
Yeah.
you've been there, like you have to like. I don't want my kids to be jerks. I'm like you have to work here.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, not for a super
I-
long time, but
yeah.
enough to get the experience for sure. Yeah. Because
So
people,
Rick, what do you do in Danbury?
I work from home, taking care of my mom who has dementia, but my job is a medical supply company. Basically customer service, really, to be honest.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have my own designated person, Jazz. It's always the same person. Hi, Jazz.
Oh, on
Can you guys
Restream.
still see me? I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm talking to Restream, and it's always the same person that comes back because I'm such a pain in the ass. Am I freezing now? No.
Now you're
Yeah. But yeah, I used to do IT for a relocation company. I was there. I just did like regular help desk in the beginning, and then I got promoted, which ended up being the worst thing I could have did because then they gave us a big layoff. it was like 300 people laid off, and the newest people in each department got laid off. So bye. I was gone. I was like, ugh. But yeah, I loved it at the time. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I just never went back to it. But yeah.
Yeah, I have no complaints about my job. I mean, I've been with the health system for 20 something years. And the best thing about my job is like, being home is that I can go to the bus stop, pick up my kids, take them to whatever they need to do. You know what I mean? Like it's, I'm not getting rich doing this, but my lifestyle, like family life is awesome. Like I will never.
Okay. I'm jealous. Wait, what are you guys talking about? Oh, because you both work from home. And so whatever. I don't. So
no, but
they're going
it's really great. I mean, like I have to, like my biggest job of the day is like figuring out where I'm going to eat. But
I think that's really cool. But I would go crazy if I didn't go out every day. I'd go nuts. Yeah. Let me know if I freeze again, because they're going to be watching or doing whatever they're doing in the background. So now I'm nervous. I'm like, am I frozen? No, I'm just kidding. Am I frozen? Okay. Tell me more about AI in your industry, though, because I'm really interested. Here's why. I've been talking to a lot of people lately about AI, and I think people are easing up on how they're feeling about AI.
Because it's so much more commonplace, I think, now. Oh, did he freeze?
He didn't freeze. He's thinking.
Oh, okay.
I can see
there's so many versions of AI that you can use. So I guess it depends on what you're trying to do with it. I mean, I have no problem.
You're making songs for your kids, but do you see a way in which you're using it more fully in your own personal life, like writing letters or whatever it is, emails, doing things like that?
No, but say I have a business meeting, right? And there's a topic, and I would be, say, ChatGPT or whatever, and be like, how can I get my points across about this? And it'd be like, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, so it is helpful, but, you do have to proofread. You can't just like, take it at its, worth and then go from there.
So, I have to answer them 1 second. They're telling me what's wrong with this right now. So
I think it's good for like getting like an outline of what you do, and then you just take that and then you make it your own.
But I do like messing around with chat, with AI and be like, how can I take $100, make it $10,000? You know what I mean? I love like, or how can I build a rocket? Like I do like just throwing stupid stuff in there,
As far as the songs, I know like there's a couple people that they love making songs on AI all the time, but they're like, hey, take a listen. What do you think? And it's cool, but I can tell it's AI. I'm like, oh yeah, that was AI generated for sure. I can still tell. So we're not at that point yet where you can't tell the difference. Like if I hear it, I don't know if it's me, but I can definitely tell. Oh yeah, that's definitely AI. I can just tell.
But it's getting harder though. I mean, if you say like you make the song Justin Bieber voice, it sounds like Justin Bieber.
You guys do that though? You guys do that?
There was a Justin Bieber made fake song. It was like a Christian one, and I was like, oh, look at his faith in the Lord, and he never made it. And there was
but that's corruptive, right? That is using AI badly and wrongly. And that is just one step removed from what everyone is so worried about with AI being used in bigger ways to manipulate people, to kind of pretend, like just even doing things like banking wise, like you could easily pretend you're somebody else and sign for somebody if they have a bigger checking account or whatever, Man, see, this is why I hate reaching out to these people when I'm on here, because now there's 10 of them sending me messages.
Do you guys actually follow the Karen Reed case? I don't know if you do or not.
I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
Okay, so
wait, before you start with that story, to clarify, the freezing experienced by your guests, no, you guys are seeing me freeze.
Yes.
How about for your guests? What do they use? What are you guys using browser wise?
I'm using Chrome.
Me too.
You're both using Chrome. Okay. How about your guests? Okay, they are both using Chrome. They are not freezing, only me. And they are seeing it, not me. I don't see myself freezing. Okay. Sorry. I just wish they would sometimes just figure it out, but then they have to ask. It's my fault for asking them while we're on here, but I shouldn't be so mean. Okay, what were you saying about
so the Karen Reed case is a big deal in Massachusetts. So apparently this woman got drunk and she ran over her Boston cop husband or boyfriend.
What?
Nothing to die in the snow. So there's been like on Max, there's actually a documentary about it.
Wait, I'm confused. She ran over her boyfriend, who's a cop, and he died?
Yeah, he died on the front lawn of another cop's house.
Oh my God.
So
sorry, that's horrible.
So no, but they had a trial last year and it ended in a mistrial. So
a mistrial.
It's going on right now. So you just Google it. The thing is fascinating. Like
Mac, are you using a Mac or Windows? Are you guys Mac or Windows?
Windows.
Windows.
Okay, everyone is on. Okay, sorry. They're trying to figure out what's wrong. I apologize. Go ahead.
So it's fascinating. Like just the evidence alone. Like, you know, I'm usually a pessimist about this stuff. Like, you know, they went out drinking and then she supposedly ran him over because they were in a fight, type of thing. But everything about it is like she's not guilty. Like it's one of those things where.
What do you mean she's not guilty? You just said she ran over him.
I'm just saying, just Google it and watch it. Like you'll see how much stuff is out there. Like she's being railroaded by Norfolk County. And anyways, so back to AI. So there are people that didn't like her. Like they were like saying that she was guilty. So she has Alan Jackson. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's an LA attorney. He's like the one that did the Kevin Spacey thing in Nantucket when he was like groping the kid at the bar and he got him off like the.
Really, you do spend a lot of time at home looking at the news. But go ahead.
No, anyways, like he was the attorney that got Kevin Spacey off from going to jail. So he's like he's a great attorney. But anyway, so what the people that didn't like the fact that Alan Jackson was representing Karen Reed, they went on AI and they made pictures of him like hugging his I don't know what you call it, but his client, right? Like hugging him outside of a bar in Boston, making out with her. Like, so that ran in the post and it was completely AI. So
they used AI to do it.
Yeah. So it was like, can you make a picture of Karen Reed making out with Alan Jackson? That's what they did. And then they posted it on Twitter and then someone took it on Twitter and then ended up being in the post and it was like a completely fake picture. So AI can be completely dangerous. Like, you can do anything with AI. It's nuts. Like, so.
But that's if you're a corrupt human being. That's my whole point. Like if you choose to do something corrupt, I mean, that's cheating. It's lying. It's right. They're making stuff up so that they can win a case. They're making it up. That's not any different than anything else.
But it goes back to AI. There's no guardrails. But there's no guardrails on AI. Like you can pretty much say anything.
I know, but that's the internet.
Carmen, David Pascuzzi, can you show me a wedding photo? And they would make, like.
It's so sad. David probably has one, and we didn't have AI back then.
Yeah.
That's me.
That
he
thing
is
about
happily
AI,
married.
you can do that.
He's a wonderful
guy.
You
know what? That right there creates a whole new job, proving whether something is fake or not with an AI thing. That's another job creating.
I just think if you're going to be a corrupt person, you're going to be a corrupt person. I'll put it this way, Jeff. This has nothing to do with AI. I work with a lot of clients who have millions and millions of dollars, right? I have rules in who I work with and how I will do things. And I have lost clients because I will not sign checks. I will not have credit cards from the company. They have to reimburse me for anything I spend. And I do this because I have learned over the years that I've worked that it is the easiest way for me to make sure there is no questions about my integrity regarding anything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There's a checks and balance system in the way in which I transfer money because I handle a lot of money. So I'm always transferring money back and forth, but I can't transfer anything without somebody else authorizing it and vice versa. So I have a system in place so that if it's not the actual client transferring money or whatever, there's two of us. And a lot of clients, a lot of people like, I'm hiring you to just take care of all this stuff. I'm like, no, this is not my money and I'm not doing this. So what I'm saying is if like, I could be very corrupt and be like, don't worry about it. I got you, Jeff. Just give me all your passwords. I'll take care of it. Yeah. And then, start wiring money to like some account, and you'd never know. And that's what I'm saying. If you have integrity and you're a good person, you're not going to use AI that way or anything else. And yeah, there are no guardrails because we're at the beginning of this, but that's how the internet happened too, right? That's how everything happens when we start.
Yeah.
You know, I know I'm preaching to the choir, but I'm just saying I get annoyed because I feel like in all the fear that we have about AI that come from all the movies, right? Rick and I have talked about this 2001 A Space Odyssey, War Games, iRobot. You can go down the list of all the movies we've seen where the bad, scary, you know, computer takes over the world or whatever. It's like in all of our angst and having these conversations over and over and over again, and they're all over LinkedIn. No one is doing anything to talk about the fact that it's not going anywhere. And how do we do it so that we do have guardrails? Like, how do we make people understand it's a tool? How do we make sure someone corrupt isn't going in and making it, you know, whatever that kid's name, Bieber's voice, and then trying to make millions of dollars off of it, you know?
Well, for me though, like I look at like I do like IT essentially support, right? I mean, I build, I implement software for a health system. Okay. So what's going to happen, at least with AI, is like, say you're a user and you have a problem and you call it in. This could be like anything. It'd be like, hey, Jeff, I need to do this, this, and that. AI could figure that out.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think like, you know, when you call like any help desk or anything, if it's AI based, they can replace me in like 2 seconds.
Right.
You know what I
I
mean?
have no doubt. I mean, there are certain jobs that AI won't replace, and they're going to be the ones that have to do with creativity, that have to do with kind of like AI is not going to be able to build a house. You know what I mean? It might be able to do a structure of a house or design a house, but it can't actually go out there and hammer the nails. You know what I mean? Or whatever it is. Like there are certain things that have human ingenuity that you're going to have to be able to do.
Right. That's why I want my kids to be like Christians and plumbers and, you know, like.
Right. But you see what I'm saying? There aren't, but I think there's, look at, I'm not going to be here when this revolution happens unless I am gifted with another 50 years or something. And I have all my, you know, cognitive, but I just don't see the toothpaste going back into the tube. And so we have to figure out, and I wish we would do it better than the way in which we did the internet. Right. It's like the internet came out and it was just like, boom, here you go, deal with it. And it was very corruptive, especially in the beginning, you know?
But like I said before, like, you know, like with AI in our health system, like, you know, it can write doctor's notes, but the doctor still has to read the notes.
So can I tell you something? We already have that here in Los Angeles.
No, but like, the doctor ultimately has to be responsible. So there is some kind of oversight. Like you just can't be like, let's go, you know, like let it rip.
Because I'll go and get like a mammogram or something. Like I'll go like, and this is how I know AI has already changed things. So, because I've been getting a mammogram every year, like every woman should. Everyone should. And I remember back in the day, you would go, and I would always go early in the morning, so I'd be the first one there. And it'd be like 3 or 4 days before they'd get the results. And even when they got the results, it was my doctor who would call me, right, and tell me what was going on. Now I go get the mammogram, and as I'm getting in my car, there'll be an email that says, your results are in, your doctor will look at it, but we have found nothing. And it's like, I haven't even gotten in my car from the appointment. There's no way a doctor just saw, you know, because I was there at like 6 a.m. There's no way a doctor saw that. You know what I mean? It's an AI thing. So
no, but
then my doctor will look at it.
There's like guidelines. So if your results are here and there and your guidelines are like this, you know what I mean? Like it that's not AI. That's like the software, but.
Oh, okay. That's not AI. No, explain. Good. Teach.
Yeah. So I'm not on the financial side, but what happens is like when you go get resulted, right? Your results go in a certain spectrum.
A range.
Right. Range, right? So if you're here, you're here, you're here, you're here, you're here, whatever. And that automatically produces like, you know, if you're out of range, then the doctor would give you a call, you know?
Okay, but here's the thing. It never happened. So something has changed. So whether it's software or whatever that's quicker, what I'm saying is I have the same doctor I've had for 20 years, right? So something has changed in that automation process is so fast that I get it like within an hour of doing it. It's not 3 or 4 days later. It's not like this whole process where my doctor will then send an email 3 or 4 days, say, you know, I looked at your thing, blah, blah. I know you already got the notification, to just let me know that they looked at it.
Yeah.
But No, go ahead.
Well, I hate to say, but most doctors are slow. So the computer is much faster than the doctor. But
you see what I'm saying, right? Something has changed in the way in which, and so things have gotten faster. And I think AI in general will also do that, whether it's software
Yeah.
or AI. What I'm saying is, and also, I mean, just the way in which our emails are set up now for it's called My Chart. Do you know My Chart? Do you guys have My
Yeah,
Chart?
I work with Epic all the time. Yeah, I have
So
my
My Chart, like even all that, it's just so it looks kind of cumbersome if you're working on it. You guys can do a better job with the interface. Just want to let you know the user interface is not cool. I'm just letting you know.
well, just pay your
But
bill on time.
I'm sorry.
Just pay your bill on time. That's all I care about. No.
Oh, you do all the billing? Is that what you do?
Yeah, I do a finance side. Yeah.
Oh no,
No, but
I don't. No. I'm saying like so you go in there and even that's all changed, right? The way in which you get information now. Like I used to get a call from my doctor. Now we just get emails. We just get and you could tell they're formulated. They're not like
yeah, but no,
from
but
my
you know
doctor.
what's funny about that? Is like patients don't like getting phone calls. So they'd rather have a text message that says, "Hey, pay your bill," and you click on the link and you pay your bill.
Oh, so
You
you
know,
handle all
we
the
don't call in,
I
like we
pay
don't
my
call
bills on
anybody.
time, so you're not texting me. I pay my bills on time.
No, but what I'm saying is like patients don't like getting like if I see a call on my phone, I don't know the number, I'm not picking it up. You know what I mean? So if you get a text message that says, "Hey, you are a patient at XYZ, click on the link. This is your bill." Like
Right.
patients prefer that as opposed to a cold call. So
So I agree with that, but I'm not talking about bills. I'm talking about the doctor part. We can have this conversation too. I mean, billing wise, I say this respectfully. I pay my bills on time, so I don't get any calls or text or whatever. Like I get the bill in an email, I just pay it. So I understand that. I'm talking about getting a call about your results from your doctor back in the day is different. And I'm not saying which one I prefer. I don't care. I'm talking about the speed at which things happen now is much faster. And I
right.
think that's what AI is going to do. It's going to streamline the process so that things are quicker and faster, the things that aren't that important, like normal test results.
Well, in my experience,
Yes.
I had a stroke like 3 years ago.
What?
Oh.
Yeah. And
You're so young.
yeah,
I'm
so
sorry. I didn't know that.
yeah, so but it goes back to the speed of the call. I'm gonna do that and I'll address my stroke in a second. But
Yeah.
a doctor will only call you if there's something wrong.
Your doctor will only call you if something's wrong. My doctors that I've
Right.
had, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
My doctors in the past would call me because they know me. Well, I'm not going
Yeah.
to say who my doctors are, but I'm just saying, like, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of what, and it's old school versus new. I get it. Younger doctors are not going to call people. You're right. They're not.
So it like unless something's wrong, they're not going to call you. Like you said,
Right.
you're on my chart. So you get your after visit summary in there. You see your notes like, I saw Carmen, her blood pressure was this, that, blah, blah, blah. And like, see you in 6 months or a year. Done. Right. If something is wrong, they're going to be like, Carmen,
You're
you have to
forgetting
come
I'm
back in.
intimidating. My doctors call my ass. No, just
Yeah,
kidding. I'm very mean. Okay, Jeff. No,
yeah, I
I
know.
know. I hear you. I mean, I don't think we're arguing about the same thing. I'm talking about the speed at which things happen, and you're
Yeah,
talking
no, it
about
happens fast. Like
things happen
as soon as you
fast
get
now.
resulted, you get your. I mean, you can literally like be in the parking lot. If they result your blood work, it'll be there.
It'll be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen before. Okay. I don't mean to be all up in your business, but now I'm curious about your stroke. Do you mind talking
Oh
about what
no,
happened? You don't have
100%.
to.
Like I don't. Like it's something that affected my life big time.
Hmm.
So it was. When did Tom Brady win his Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay? It was like
Whatever. Who cares?
2000.
No, I'm just kidding. We
No,
hate
it
him
was
because
like
I'm from
no, it was like
Boston.
yeah, it was like 2000. No, but he was playing for Tampa Bay at the time.
Wait,
So
hold
I
on a
want to say,
second.
I want to say it's
Let me
like
ask
four,
AI. Hold on.
4 years ago, maybe 4 years ago.
Hey, when did Tom Brady win the Super Bowl with Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
Tom Brady won the Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2021. That was Super Bowl
2021.
Yeah, so it was like 4 years ago.
over the Kansas City.
So
Yeah, thank you. Okay, he's gonna go on and tell me the rest of it. Go ahead.
okay, so I had a Super Bowl party at my house. I mean, we all love Tom Brady. I mean, New
Yeah,
England, right?
we did.
So we had a Super Bowl
did.
party. So Sunday, people, food, drinks, whatever. And so the next day, it's a Monday, I'm pretty hungover at this point. Like, everyone is after the Super Bowl. And so I'm on a work call and I'm typing on the keyboard. And all of a sudden, I have to preface it. Super Bowl Saturday, the day before, I had my second shot of Moderna for the COVID virus.
Oh no.
But by the way, I'm not anti-vaccine. I'm not.
No, I know you're not.
I'm not
I know
one of
you're
those crazy. I'm not going to be like, oh, like.
right. Yeah.
I have had
I know you're not
vaccine.
anti-vax.
I'm not one of those people that's gonna like rail against it. Whatever.
Right.
So, anyways, so I had a second shot of Moderna that Saturday. Super Bowl Sunday, had a party, and then on Monday, I'm on a work call, and my right hand is not working. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I can't pick up the mouse. I can't, do whatever. And thank God, like, my wife was downstairs. I'm like, Joanne. And then what she heard was blah, blah, blah. Like I was like incoherent. Like, it was like,
you thought you were talking well and right.
Yeah. In my mind, I was like speaking perfectly fine. And she's like, thank God she was there, because I would have been like, maybe I'm hungover. I would have laid on the bed. You know what I mean? Like, and just
you
gone
never
to sleep or
know.
something. So she called the ambulance, and so, they came, they got me, and they put me on like blood thinners, like immediately, type of thing.
Can you tell people so that they know? Because I don't even know, like, what is a stroke actually? Like, what is it?
So long story short, like, I have a hole in my heart. It's called a PFO. So it's a patent formality. Like, I don't even know the term, but I have the same thing that Justin Bieber's wife had, Hailey Bieber. So,
oh wow, okay.
Yeah. So most people don't know it's like a kid thing. So usually when you're a kid, you get it like fixed. Like you go and they put like a cocktail umbrella in your heart and the cells go around it. So I have to go this summer to get it done.
Oh, you didn't know you had this though?
Yeah. So most people don't know they have it.
Right.
You don't know. I mean, I didn't know I had it until I had a stroke.
Right.
So apparently what happened is, like, when I had like the Moderna shot, it activates all your cells and, whatever. So what happened was, like, a clot came up, went through the hole, went into, so it's called, like, I had an ischemic stroke. So it was a very minor, like, on a scale of 0 to 10, I was like a 0.1. Like,
yeah, but
I was already feeling better.
Your wife was there.
Yeah. So I was feeling better, like, as soon as I got into the ambulance, and they gave me like the anticoagulants and everything, but I had to spend 3 days in the hospital, which is crazy. Yeah. But it was like on the right side of my neck. Like, that's where they said, it happened, but it was scary. Like, but the crazy part though, bill was like $250,000, but thank God for insurance.
Oh my God. Only in this country though, right? Only in the United States do we have these crazy, ridiculous bills, but insurance covered most of it at least, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, but what I'm saying, like, like I said, I'm not anti-vaccine, but, when it happened, I told everybody that it happened. And the funny part though was, like, I had to see like rheumatologists, I had to see like neurologists, like everybody.
Yeah. And
there were other people like me that, that stuff happened, and, and the crazy part though is, I mean, I got COVID after the fact too. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it did wasn't the end all be all of, like, whatever.
I'm so sorry. That
No,
is
but
so
you know
wrong.
what I mean? Like, it's like, you would think, but, like I said, I'm not anti-vaccine. Like, I want people to get mumps. I have tetanus shots. Like,
I know.
I believe in
look,
medicine.
there's causation, right? So it's one thing. I mean, you explained it perfectly. What exactly happened, and they would not have known that. And I've gotten every single vaccine I needed to get for COVID, and I will continue to, and I'm not anti-vax either. I think that what people end up doing is they start saying that because you got the COVID vaccine, that's why you had a stroke. And they leave all of the intricate, nuanced information that you just provided, you know what I mean, to explain what happened. Had you known that might have been your reaction, had you known you had that issue in your heart,
there's no
way you would have known that. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So it's kind of like a blessing and a curse. You know what I mean? Like, it's
because you wouldn't have known.
Yeah. Because I have to get it fixed, because because chances of me having a stroke again are more.
Pretty high. Yeah.
Because I have a hole in my heart. I mean, like, and
you're going. You said this summer you're going.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, it's a pediatric procedure, so I have to go
Yeah.
to like Yale New
Oh,
Haven Children's Hospital.
oh
So
wow.
my gown will be like with clowns on it and like animals, like
Actually kind of cool.
so,
Is it something that you're going to be out and then you have to be like
yeah.
in the hospital for days?
No, just one. I'll be out in the same day. All it is, like they take like like the tiki umbrellas.
Isn't
So
that
basically, put a
amazing?
tiki umbrella in your heart, and they open it up, and then the cells heal around it, and then you're done.
Isn't it incredible that they do surgeries? I mean, back in the day when I was growing up and people had surgery, they were in the hospital for like weeks,
Yeah.
And now it's like, no.
But
My dad, my dad had a very similar. The last thing that got him. So back up. My dad has had 5 heart attacks. He's died
Damn.
now, and 2 strokes, and he survived every single one except the last stroke got him bad. But what happened was in the middle of the night, he hits my mom and he goes, "Something's not right. I don't feel right." And then after that, she couldn't understand anything he said. She was like, "Oh my God," and then called the ambulance, and then that
Yeah.
was that. 7 years later, he was still in that same state. He never got better. So yeah, it was sad.
Wow.
Yeah, strokes are bizarre. Like it didn't even hurt. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was like painless.
Well,
Like
you
I
didn't
had
even know
no
it was
idea.
happening though, because you
Like
thought you were
in my mind, I
speaking
think
right.
something was right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cynthia just said the human body is amazing. That is for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I just finished really healing recently. Like I had hip surgery because I'm so much older than you, Jeff. I had hip surgery because I had a dance injury from when I was a kid, right? Which is the only reason why I ended up going to college. Like the only reason why I went to college is because I couldn't dance professionally. That's the only reason why I ended up going to college. I was supposed to go to Broadway, but anyways, blah blah. But I had the same thing. I had surgery and I was out that like within 4 hours. They had me walking around, and I think I just finished healing and that was back in 2021. I think I'm a slow healer and it's been really tough to get back on track like running a marathon and stuff or trying to get back to running. Like it's just so hard. Do you feel like you've healed? Do you feel like you're back to your normal regular self or has something changed in you?
Well, being in IT, I had to put my password in my computer like every day, multiple times a day, and that was the only time I noticed like I'd be like off like one letter. You know what I mean? Like
Wow.
you know what I mean? Like your password is your password, right? You change it, and
Yeah.
then like I could almost do it blind, but then it'd be like one keystroke off. Like there's like little micro things that I notice that are like kind of
So how
off.
do you work around that? How do you fix
You
that?
just adapt, like you know what I mean? Like it, it's one of those things where like blah, 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 and then you know. But
Wow.
like I'm very lucky. Like you know what I mean? Like there's that's it's like micro things that are off. Like I still play basketball with my kids. Like I kick the soccer ball around. Like anything that's big is not a problem. It's like little tiny little things. Yeah, tiny things.
Newsflash: when you get older, that increases even more.
Yeah, that might
Yeah,
not
I'm
be
not as
the
old as
truth.
Carmen, but
Wow. Okay. All right. I deserve that one. That was good. Okay. Because I got
no, but like I said, like it's like micro things. Like you know what I mean? Like I type my password in every day, 5 times a day. Whatever, and I'd always be like off one keystroke. But now it's fine. But that was the one thing I noticed. Like you type these things in all the time, and you're just like,
right.
So that bothered me for the longest time. Just like, why the hell am I off like one keystroke?
Right. Well, I'm sorry you went through that, but I'm glad you're better and
No,
I'm glad
right.
you're
No,
handling
like,
that.
I would share with anybody. Like, I don't care about that stuff. Like,
Well, it's going to be public now because it's on YouTube, so it's going to be there
yeah,
forever. Hope
I know
you
all your
don't
non-big
mind.
news. Yeah, no,
I mean,
but
we can delete it. I don't mind. I can totally make it private if you want. But I'm
no,
just
I
letting
don't
you
care.
know.
No, but the thing is, like, people are like, oh, you should report that to the, whatever. I did, like
report
because I
what?
wanted to link it to Moderna, like, you know what I mean, like.
Oh yeah,
I'm not the only one, you know what I mean, that has some adverse effects, but I'm still like, pro-vaccine, like whatever, like it
yeah.
just
You keep
happened to me
saying that. Why do you keep
that went
saying
to
that?
stop.
Why are you afraid? Why do you keep saying that?
What do you
That you're
mean?
pro-vaccine. We know you are. You've said it like
No,
15
I know,
times.
but most people would think that I was like, don't do it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like, you know
okay.
what I mean?
You
Like,
want to
don't.
make sure people
Right.
know.
It's that, like,
Well, in your case, nobody could have did anything because nobody knew you had the hole in the heart. Nobody knew.
Right, exactly. So that's my point. Like I'm not, I don't care what you do. Like I'm very liberal. Like when it comes to like personal rights, I don't care what the hell you don't want to get a vaccine, don't do it. Do whatever. Like, but I'm not gonna say don't do it.
Well, I'm kind of a little bit different because I'm like, if you don't want to get a vaccine, that's totally your choice, but there are consequences to that. So, like,
Right.
if you don't have your kids vaccinated, they shouldn't be in a public school setting. I'm sorry, you know what I mean? Because they're going to get sick from other kids. You know what I mean? And then there's gonna, they're gonna be ill or whatever.
100% agree. But you know what's funny? I think I don't want to say being old, but we had to have the mums and like we had to have vaccines like, in order to go to college, in order to go to school. Like it was never like second thought. It was like you just get jabbed and you show up, Right.
I remember because I was supposed to go to Africa when I was in at UVM. We were supposed to go to Namibia for a semester. And do you remember we had that doctor whose name was Dr. Christmas? Like his name was actually Dr. Christmas. Do you remember him from the UVM Health Center? His name was actually Dr. Christmas. It's like it wasn't like a made up name. That was his actual last name. But I had to get vaccinated for like things I've never heard of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was vaccinated for like 20 years with that, whatever it was. And then we didn't end up going. They ended up canceling the program. And I remember being like, well, at least now I will walk around and never get any disease. It was weird. But yeah, it was never a big deal, the whole vaccination thing. It seems to be like I don't know, last 20 years, a big anti-vax thing, which is, whatever. I'm fine with you doing whatever you do. You have the choice to do whatever you want to do, but it cannot affect other people. That's my thing. Do whatever you want to do, but you are not allowed to hurt other people in the process.
I agree.
So, my God, we're at the 116 mark, which I'm so sorry. I spent a lot of time on talking to the computer people or whatever. Did I freeze after that?
No.
Nope. Anyways, whatever. See, I always have to be in touch with them. But Jeff, will you come back on again?
Sure. I just know the schedule.
Dude, the schedule is not that hard. I'm
not that compelling. I'm just like, I'm just a dad. So
what do you mean?
To go to school with you.
Why are you putting yourself down like that? I don't remember us hanging out in college. Did we hang out?
Not really, because you were too intimidating. And plus, Dave Pascuzzi was in love with you. So,
but he was in love with. He was actually in love with Althena. Remember?
No, well, you know what? Althea Cooper lives 110 away from me. Her kids go to school in my town. I haven't talked to her.
Twins. She has twins, right? She has two boys.
Yeah.
She's on Facebook. Are you not on her Facebook?
I don't know. We probably are, but you know how Facebook is. Like you click the friend button. Like, I know you.
We talked like a couple years ago on the phone. We actually talked on the phone. He was really in love with her. He really wasn't in love with me. He was in love with her.
But her husband was a Sigma Phi guy with the same fraternity as Pascuzzi, as Dave. Her husband
was Dave Pascuzzi part of Sigma Phi with Cesar Murillo too. Really?
Yeah.
So, Rick, Cesar Murillo is our friend who died in 9/11 in the Twin Towers.
Yeah, he's from Norwalk.
Sigma Phi was the fraternity. What, Jeff?
He's from Connecticut. He's from Norwalk. Like 15 minutes away from me.
Who's from Norwalk? Are you talking about Cesar?
Yeah, his family's...
Yeah, but his family, right, because Cesar passed away. That was just weird how you said that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
No.
So that was also... huge thing I think that pulled us all together again. That was hard. Anyway, we don't need to go down that rabbit hole, but I don't remember us hanging out, you and me. I feel like I should remember. How did we meet? Do you remember?
Well, SESP. I'm sure there were things at the Alana house.
Wait. Did you know Richard Johnson? You knew Richard Johnson.
I know Richard Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's been like he died in 2012.
Oh, he died. Oh, I didn't know that.
How did you not? You didn't know that?
No.
He died in 2012, April of 2012. Yeah.
He was such a nice guy too. Like that.
Such a nice guy. He's one of my best friends. After college, I stayed in touch with him. He was one of my best friends. And
who was the other guy? The other African American guy, like the
Rodney Patterson, Reverend.
Yeah, Rodney Patterson. Yeah.
Reverend Rodney Patterson.
Right?
Yeah. He's like, who's the other guy?
I wasn't very close with him.
Yeah,
he's too serious for me.
Right. He was very good friends with Richard as well.
Yeah.
Right. He was also very religious. And yeah, Rodney Patterson. I don't really talk to him too much, but I did see Rodney because we went to Richard's memorials. He had both of them. He had one in Oregon where he was from, and then one in Vermont. But him and Caesar were really close. So in a weird way, that's my hope is like, well, at least they're hanging out together. I know it's like stupid, but I just remember how devastated he was when Caesar. I mean, we all were devastated when Caesar died. But yeah, I always think about that. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you didn't know that Richard had passed away. I'm sorry.
Wow.
That was
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll share you a story about Caesar. So when he was my counselor at SESP, so he had this huge boombox, and I had a huge boombox. So we had like a dance battle in like his room, and he would do the stupid lawnmower thing, like, and I would do like the flying squirrel, and like we just like,
so
you know what I mean? Like we're just stupid at that point.
Yeah.
Then we go to what was the nightclub that was above Nectar?
That's not a nightclub. It's Vermont.
Well, not a nightclub, but it's a bar, what you mean. But we have dance battles there. It was so funny. Just like we would do the stupidest wedding dances.
It was just dorky. You were all dorky. Now, were you a Sigma Phi brother?
No. I was Acacia. I was across the street. I was one of the
you
poor
were
guys.
Acacia.
I was one of the poor kids. I didn't,
Right.
my parents didn't have a Mercedes or that kind of stuff. But my friends were over there, so it's like,
Right. It was just
I had nothing
weird.
in common with those guys over there.
Yeah, we didn't hang out because I wasn't involved in all that.
No, but you also were a little bit more mature than us.
He's gonna say like, you were also older. Yeah, but I knew Caesar. I mean, I knew Caesar, I knew all them, but I just wasn't into, what? The weird thing is I was actually intimidated by my surroundings. Really intimidated,
This may be a weird question, but do you remember when I don't know if you were part of this, but do you remember making the video with Angel about Common Splice? How we had to make a video about how people were talking.
Oh, I don't remember that. I don't think so.
So we made a video for SES or for the Alana House about how people were, how right now they use pronouns and whatever.
Right.
So it was in a classroom setting, and we had to be like, how the people were talking to us, like people of color, and
I don't know.
We made a whole entire video for it that they showed. I don't know if you knew about that.
No, I didn't have
anything.
I didn't really have anything to do with Alana either.
Yeah. But
Rick
it was
is
really
like,
funny.
do I even need to be here? Like, sorry, we're reminiscing about college. Alana is, what did it stand for?
Asian, Latino, African, like Native American or something like that.
Whatever. We don't know. It was like, I had nothing to do with that. I don't know.
No, but UVM made us or asked us to make a video about being a person of color in a classroom. So it was really funny that, so it was called Common Splice, like whatever the term was, how when people are talking to, about, being in a classroom, how teachers are talking to you or whatever. Right. So there's a whole video. It was like a skit that we had to make. And it was actually pretty funny, but.
I don't remember. I didn't have anything to do with all that. I mean, I was around all the time with, with all the people of color or whatever, but I never really participated in all the programs, I was like, especially when the students took over the president's wing.
Yeah.
Remember when the students?
Oh, I was in there. I called my parents. I was in there. I called my parents like, Mom,
I was not right. I was not involved in all that because I was a good rule-abiding person. No, I'm just kidding. I was actually more along with Phil. Remember, Phil was outside negotiating, and we were dealing with all of that stuff. Huh?
Phil lives in Connecticut too.
Why do you all live in Connecticut? Is there something about Connecticut I don't know?
That's Vermont, Connecticut. That's the way we roll.
I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so I, like that whole thing was also, so the students took over the president's wing in protest of so many issues that were happening at UVM. They had shanty towns, Rick, on the lawn. Like people were like protesting and living. It was so chaotic but it actually was pretty interesting. I mean, when I look back on it now, I think it's pretty interesting. But I remember being so stressed about the whole thing.
But you know what? I'll tell you this, and I mean, obviously it was 20 years ago. So statute of limitations. I know the person who burned down the shantytowns. That
Who was it? Are you going to say right now?
I'm not gonna say, but
Are
I
you
know
going
the
to text
person
me
that burned
later? Are you
down
going to
the shantytowns that were in the commons. So
are you going to text me later?
you won't know who he is, but
No, then I don't care. All right, that doesn't matter.
No, but it was crazy. Like they built like these shantytowns on there, and
It was
it
cool.
was like well,
No,
it's
but
an
people were
eyesore.
protesting. It was a fair protest. I mean, it went out of hand, but I felt bad for the people who turned around and didn't actually graduate because of that. Like that to me was weird. Like they ended up, quitting school or whatever, and they never got their degree. And you spent all that money going to college. And I'm glad that you protest and everything, but at least get your damn degree. Like
Dude, my
they
parents
were
would
like,
whip my ass if I didn't like graduate after all the money spent.
I'm still paying them damn student loans. Okay, so I got my degree.
No, but I'll tell you a funny story though. So one of my fraternity brothers, he's from a well-off family. So he went to school 1 year and then he withdrew within so he was like 19 years old or whatever, 20 years old.
Right.
He withdrew. So his parents paid his tuition. They cut him a check for 30 grand because he wasn't going to school. And he told his parents he was going to school, but he just blew it on party.
That happens all the time. I work for very wealthy people, and that happens all the time with the kids.
So it was so funny. I'm like, dude, you
I've
just
heard that.
gave your parents out of $30,000, or at the time it's like $35,000, whatever it was. It was a lot.
But that's why when you said you were going to have your kids do service jobs, these kids need to do service jobs. Like not appreciating where things come from is a big reason why we have so many problems in this country. Like kids who don't have to work at all for anything and they're just handed things and they don't have any appreciation. That is part of the problem that we're having right now with kids. It's just true. And I know so many kids, it doesn't even have to be wealthy kids who just get so much because they don't have to do anything because parents have guilt issues. You know what I mean? Or they're like, no, I want my kid to have everything and not suffer. I'm like, okay. Because they're not learning.
Ben Affleck went to school with us at UVM.
What?
Ben Affleck went to school with us at UVM.
I never, we don't drop names, but you seem to be okay with that.
But he dated one of Bruno's girlfriend's friends. But you know what I mean? He went to UVM for a year and then,
and then he left
UVM for a theater major. Honestly.
Right. Well, I was in theater. I was in not theater. I was in film, but we took theater classes. He was a theater major. I thought he was film.
I don't know. I never really met him, but like I said, he dated one of Bruno's girlfriend's friends.
Cousin,
brother. I'm saying like with the Ben Affleck thing is like his kid wanted like $6,000 sneakers. And he's
I saw that the other day.
Yeah,
that
he's like,
awesome.
no. He's like, you need to work. So I
Because
appreciate that.
His kids said, "Why? It's not a big deal. We're rich." And he said, "No, I'm rich."
Yeah.
That was so funny. He's like, "I'm rich. You're not rich. I'm rich."
Yeah.
It was so funny. But
so I thought that was awesome. I'm like,
that was pretty awesome. Yeah, he's pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna jump off. Don't jump off yet, Jeff. I'm gonna log us off. Rick, you cool?
I'm cool.
You don't have anything else you want to say? I feel bad. Me and Jeff just took over the whole conversation.
No, I enjoy this, believe it or not. I enjoy it. Especially when
look at Rick. He always gets off the hook because like everybody else talks and Rick just sits there and says nothing. And then we go in the green room and he don't be quiet.
No, but I'm looking at the stuff in his background. I'm like, I think Rick plays video games. Like, just looking at your thing, like you play retro games.
No, Marvel. It's all Marvel stuff.
Believe it or not, I'm not into video games.
He doesn't do video games.
Oh, really?
I am into Marvel.
You should. There's a lot
no,
of
look at it. It's all Marvel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's into Marvel stuff. Do you play video games?
No. My son hated that because, of course, he loved to play games. He's like, "Dad, come play with me." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I hated playing games.
Jeff, do you play a lot of games?
Yes.
Games? Are you on Twitch?
No. Oh. But the funny part though is I hated Fortnite for the longest time, but my kids play and I play with them, and then I'm so bad that my kids don't want to play with me. So we have a dad group. So the dads play now. You know what I mean? So it's like we evolve from kids to like the kids play amongst themselves, and then all this
totally lame. Jeff, that's totally lame.
One of those things where you get like we don't go to the bars anymore. Like, what do we do? Tomorrow morning I have to wake up. Tomorrow morning I have to wake up at 8 o'clock, take my kid to soccer practice. You know what I mean? Like, I can't go out to 2 a.m. blowing it up, doing shots of Jägermeister like back in the day. You know, I'm
Some
luggage.
of
I'm
us
like
do
touring
go
for like
out
2 days.
still to
You
real clubs. We would never call
Club
what
Med.
was over that pizza joint or whatever it is a club.
Yeah,
I
no,
know
it's
what you're
club,
talking about though. I forget what it's called.
no, but Club Bed is where I like enjoyed the most. Like I just love sleeping. You know, like watching videos. Like that's it. Watching shows. I probably watch more movies and TV
Wait,
shows.
have you seen Sinners?
Oh, should I?
I don't know. Oh, so you haven't seen it yet. You haven't seen.
No.
What
Sinners.
do you like
I
horror?
watch like Reacher. I watch like action shows.
Okay, but you haven't seen. You haven't even heard of Sinners. What is wrong with you? Really?
No, no,
Sinners.
but I heard about the sex scene that someone's husband's gonna kill himself because it's pretty graphic. Is that true?
What?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
What?
No.
What are you talking about?
I watched. I read the post.
There's a sex scene at the end that you think they're having sex, but actually it's a vampire. It's a
okay. Oh,
so
you ruined it for me. Now I can't watch it.
she's like straddling him, and you think they're having sex, but she's not actually having sex. She's devouring him, like she's eating him. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't. But that's not even graphic. You just see this. You know, they have clothes on. It's just like what I mean.
Well, I'll watch it then. Like, but you know what's funny though? I hate to say this.
I don't know, but we're gonna go on for like 2 hours because you got so much to say. You got to come back on. Go ahead.
No, I have a question. Do you watch White Lotus? I haven't watched it either. Like,
I watched the first couple seasons, but I don't watch it anymore.
No,
I don't. I know it's a big deal, but I haven't watched it. It's all. I watched like the first 2 seasons and then I stopped. So, Rick, do you watch White Lotus?
Mm-mm.
So I guess I don't want to keep you on forever, but
no, it's
you know
okay.
what's funny though? As I get older, is like I used to love like horror movies. Like I used to love them. I just can't stand watching them anymore. It's one of those things where I hate seeing people like suffer. Exactly. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. Like it all of a sudden, like I just can't.
No, you have empathy. You're kind.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where I can't watch. Even though I used to love the genre, I just can't. I mean, I watch action movies and people get shot in the head. I just don't like people getting tortured or like whatever. Like it's. You know what I mean?
Okay, like we have to have you on when Cynthia's here, so you can. Rick loves horror films. Rick and Cynthia love horror.
I used to love them. It's just one of those things where I just can't. I don't find enjoyment anymore watching them.
Okay, well, Rick, why do you love all the horror?
You keep saying I love it.
I love it. You said you love it.
It's not my go-to. Sci-fi is my go-to. Sci-fi is my go-to.
Have you watched like Terrifier? Like I heard that's like insane.
No.
Yeah. See, like
there's like, all right, I do have a limit. If it's torture, extremely bloody graphic, nope. I didn't watch what's the one where you had to like cut your arm off to survive or something? What the heck was that called?
Saw. Yeah, I don't watch any Saw movies.
Nope, I didn't do those. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's like it's a weird thing because I used to love watching like Friday the 13th, Halloween movies. Like I used to love all those things, and now I just don't watch them. Like it's one of those, it can be a great movie.
I've never been a fan, so I've never ever enjoyed it. I went and saw Sinners because I knew it was a piece of art that everyone in Hollywood would be talking about. So I went and saw it, but I didn't see any of the gory parts because I was like this. Like I totally was like that the whole time. But and it's weird because why do we close our eyes and put our hands in front of our eyes, like double protection or something? But you can still hear it. That's what the weird thing is. But I don't think it was as bad. Some people, I mean, Rick, you saw it, so it wasn't as horrific as other.
No, it wasn't super graphic. No.
Right.
They tried to be tasteful. Tried to be as tasteful as they could.
Right.
Oh, I'll watch it then. So.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, but what other have you seen 911? Did you ever watch a show 911 with Angela Bassett?
No.
Rick, you're so lucky. Rick was like, please don't have seen it because I don't want to talk about it. Like, all right. Okay. I am going to jump off. Thank you so much, Jeff. We're so glad you're here. Thank you. It was fun
nice
to have
meet you.
You can come
nice
back
you,
again. Rick, as always, gracias, senor. I'm sorry it wasn't just you and me, baby. Someday soon.
Anytime you have me, I'll jump on if you want me.
Yeah, we'd love to have you come on.
Hopefully I'm not boring,
You're not boring.
Not at all. Not at all.
But I hate throwing that stuff out Carmen. That's the thing,
don't.
No.
Okay, you can't come on and talk about Me.
Oh, your age. Like,
God. I
That's
don't
a
care
good-
about my age, but I'm just saying, like, you should have known this as a man. You don't start dissing women's ages out there. And I
I
live in
didn't diss you. I just
Hollywood.
said you were older. That's all.
I know, but you can't.
I mean, I'm
After you
only
said-
15. I don't know why my parents signed a waiver to get on here.
Wait, you're only 15. Okay, so you can come on anytime. We'd love to have you because you're fun. It's nice to be in touch again. I just don't. I have to think more about you now. I have to figure out us in college. Like I'm gonna have to do like a deep dive and figure out how
No,
I.
but you know what? We
remember you.
really never really hung out that often. You know what I mean? Like we'd be like at events together. We wouldn't like I would never call you up and be like, Carmen, let's go hang out. Let's go to Rasputin. You know what I mean? Like that was not us.
I know, but you're making it sound like I didn't talk to anybody in college. Like I was just
No,
like by
no,
myself
you
and
did,
quiet.
but
Yeah.
I was young and dumb, and you were
Not right. I was
right. You
old.
weren't like
I
an
was an
idiot.
older woman.
Right? Yeah.
Older
No,
woman.
but you weren't into the fraternity scene. Like you weren't into that. You know what I mean? Like
I wasn't. And
you were
freshman
different.
year, I
That's all.
dated Alex Lupus, and who's now a doctor. But I dated him freshman year, and I think he was a junior at the time or something. But my freshman year, I hung out with him most of the time. That was the other part of it, and his friends.
Right, but like I'm saying, like you weren't like being dumb like me and Dave. Like we were just like going to frat parties, like drinking as much beer as we could.
You were
Like
dumb. You were doing what college kids
I know,
do.
but my
That wasn't
point is
dumb.
like you were more mature than us.
Like God, he's not gonna let it go. Like, he's not gonna let it go. All right, that's gonna be our thing, I guess. That's like our thing now, right? You're just gonna keep.
No, but
Oh my
it is what it
God.
is.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much. Remember, catch us on Sunday. What time, Rick? 12 p.m.
Pacific
Pacific.
3 or Pacific 12 p.m. Eastern 3 p.m.
Okay, you just messed it up. 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. And we'll be
Damn,
back
that's
again
early.
here next week on Friday. And remember, at the end of the day, it really is all about the joy. Bye, everyone.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you. for
Don't
having me.
jump off yet, Jeff. Don't jump off. Bye, everyone. Bye.